A tale of two Brickyard 400 champions, same dates, different years. Dale Earnhardt and Bobby Labonte. When comparing these two NASCAR icons, what similarities do they share? They are champions across NASCAR's top two national series, the Xfinity and Cup Series divisions. They are winners of two prestigious events encompassing the two Carolinas, the Coca-Cola 600 in the north and the Southern 500 in the south. They are NASCAR Hall of Fame inductees and highly regarded as popular figures within the NASCAR community. They are also hardcore racers who once engaged in a side-by-side photo finish at Atlanta Motor Speedway in March 2000. That is until Earnhardt emerged victorious over Labonte by a mere 0.010 seconds. There is another achievement they share. Both won the Brickyard 400, a prestigious NASCAR event at the iconic Indianapolis Motor Speedway once throughout their careers. While both won the event, albeit on different years, they achieved the feat on the same date, August 5th. So what makes today's date, August 5th, special to highlight both drivers' feat of winning at Indianapolis in the year 2025? It serves as a 30-year anniversary of when Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator, achieved his first and only victory at the track labeled the greatest spectacle in racing. The date also serves as a 25-year anniversary of when Bobby Labonte achieved his lone victory at the track, a victory that would lead him to the path of a first championship. We start in 1995, the year Earnhardt won NASCAR's second annual Brickyard 400 event. It was only a year prior when Earnhardt, who was then a six-time champion from Kannapolis, North Carolina, started on the front row for the inaugural event and was determined to become the first competitor to win it. His race, though, quickly went south on the opening lap when he scraped the wall entering turn 4 and made an early pit stop for repairs. After dropping to the rear of the field, Earnhardt rallied to finish in 5th place. For the 1995 Brickyard event that was delayed for 4 hours due to rain as remnants from Hurricane Aaron, Earnhardt started in 13th place. Despite brushing the wall in the early stages, similar to his first lap incident a year prior, he kept his foot in the gas pedal and marched forward to the front. As Earnhardt steadily moved up the leaderboard, a quartet of competitors, Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, Sterling Marlin, and Rusty Wallace, dominated the event as they led a combined 119 of 160 scheduled laps. Then, after spending a majority of the event running towards the front but unable to grasp the lead, an opportunity presented itself for Earnhardt during a late cycle of green flag pit stops. It all started with 31 laps remaining when Wallace pitted from the lead, which occurred a lap after Earnhardt pitted. As Wallace exited his pit stall and was nearing the exit pit road, two competitors, Rich Bickle and Joe Nemechek, collided when the latter was exiting his pit stall. Amid the contact, Wallace had to take evasive action to avoid hitting Bickle's car and dodge a wheel that had rolled out of the pit box of driver Bobby Hamilton simultaneously. By the time Wallace exited pit road, landed back on the track in the backstretch, and was regaining race pace, Earnhardt reeled in and overtook the latter on the track for the eventual lead. Shortly after, Jeff Burton wrecked in the backstretch after he got loose entering the straightaway, scrubbed the wall, and veered sideways before he spun off the track and hit the inside wall. Ironically, Burton's incident occurred in front of both Earnhardt and Wallace, though the latter two took evasive action to avoid Burton's entry. Ultimately, the incident triggered the event's only caution period that began on lap 133 and lasted through lap 136. It also stacked up both Earnhardt and Wallace with the field for a late race shootout. When the race restarted for what would be the final restart with 24 laps remaining, Earnhardt made slight contact with his teammate Ward Burton, who was a lap down entering the first turn, but he managed to keep his number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet entry pointed straight and retain the lead. He then managed to fend off late challenges from Wallace and Ricky Rudd for the event's remainder to achieve a victory he labeled special next to winning a Daytona 500 while in victory lane, during which he also proudly labeled himself as the second man to win the Brickyard 400, if not the first. Earnhardt, who overall led the final 28 of 160 scheduled laps and beat runner-up finisher Rusty Wallace by 0.3 of a second, achieved his 66th career victory in the NASCAR Cup Series division and his third of the 1995 season. By winning at Indianapolis, Earnhardt also achieved his third crown jewel victory in NASCAR, alongside the Coca-Cola 600 and the Southern 500. Earnhardt's first Brickyard 400 victory was pivotal in keeping him in contention for a record-setting 8th championship for the remainder of the 1995 season. Despite accumulating a total of 5 victories, he fell 34 points shy of the title to the driver who won the inaugural Brickyard 400 in 1994, Jeff Gordon. Nonetheless, Earnhardt's first Brickyard victory would be one of 3 for his team, Richard Childress Racing, to date. Earnhardt also remains one of 11 competitors to have both a Brickyard 400 and a Cup Series championship to a NASCAR resume. Flash forward 5 years later, it was Bobby Labonte who reigned under the victorious sun at the Brickyard. Prior to the year 2000, Labonte's best results in the event from 1994 to 1999 were a pair of runner-up results, the first of which occurred in 1997 and the latter occurred in 1999. That all changed in 2000, an event where the Corpus Christi, Texas native started in third place and raced up front through the event's first half, while ironically, Rusty Wallace dominated the event. Beginning on lap 44, Labonte and Wallace led the remainder of the event. During the stretch, they each led 3 times apiece, as Labonte led 21 laps, while Wallace led a race-high 110 overall. Labonte's 2 previous occurrences of leading occurred during green flag pit stops, where he led his first 2 laps from laps 83 to 84 before he led his next set of laps from laps 119 to 122. After surrendering the lead to pit during both instances, Wallace, who pitted earlier than Labonte, cycled back to the lead. After cycling back ahead of Labonte following the latest pit stops by lap 123, Wallace appeared to be on cruise control to victory. Then, with 15 laps remaining, Labonte, who had reeled in Wallace, made his move beneath the ladder through turns 3 and 4. Through the front stretch that led to the start-finish line, they dueled, and the right front fender of Labonte's entry made light contact with Wallace's left rear fender. And amid the contact, Labonte led the next lap by a nose as he continued to duel with Wallace. Then, through the first 2 turns, Labonte managed to outduel Wallace to muscle his number 18 Interstate Batteries Pontiac entry ahead of Wallace's number 2 Miller Lite Ford entry. For the remainder of the event, Labonte both built a reasonable gap between himself and Wallace and weaved his way through lap traffic before he proceeded to claim the checkered flag and win with an advantage of more than 4 seconds. In victory lane, Labonte was overcome with emotion as he could not envision of a better day than winning at Indianapolis. He also described the feeling of winning at Indy as a long-time dream being fulfilled and being reminded by teammate Tony Stewart to cherish kissing the quote-unquote Hoosier bricks. Labonte's first Brickyard 400 victory would be the only victory recorded by the Pontiac nameplate in the event, though the driver notched his second Cup victory of the 2000 season and the 14th of his career. It would also mark the first of 5 Brickyard 400 victories for his team, Joe Gibbs Racing, to date. Overall, Labonte's Brickyard 400 victory was one of 4 victories he achieved throughout the 2000 season, including the crown jewel Southern 500 at Darlington. Labonte proceeded to win the season's championship, which was a first both for himself and Joe Gibbs Racing, by 265 points over Dale Earnhardt. During Labonte's championship run, he led the point standings in all but 3 of the 34 race schedule, and he also did not record a single DNF throughout the season. To date, he and Cale Yarborough from the 1977 season are the only 2 competitors to record no DNFs in a championship-winning season. Today's anniversary date, August 5th, goes beyond describing 2 tales of 2 competitors who became 2 of 17 overall to win NASCAR's Brickyard 400 event. It serves as a pivotal reminder of the huge legacy left behind by these two giants, Dale Earnhardt and Bobby Labonte, who helped pave the way for the next generation of rising stars in NASCAR.